Hello everyone, and I just wanted to record this video on SMS campaigns through Klaviyo. Now, before I get really into how to set up your SMS campaigns through Klaviyo and why they're so important, let me just kind of preface this by saying you should already have lead generation going before you start to do this. So this is after you've already started generating a consistent amount of leads, or if you already have a sizable lead list built up. Do not buy a lead list. I've talked about this extensively in the past. You can go on my YouTube channel and check why lead lists are a scam. I've made videos on that before. But just if you had a list that you've generated, 6 months ago, a year ago, 3 months ago, whatever, and it's a sizable list that you want to remarket to, then this video will be for you. Also, if you are already generating a lot of leads on social media or through wherever else, this is a great way for you to remarket to them as long as you have their phone numbers. So let's get right into it. All right, so first of all, why are text campaigns important to begin with? Like, what's the benefit of even having a text campaign? Well, first of all, text campaigns on Klaviyo get a 90% open rate through SMS, right? So that's pretty incredible. I don't know if you guys have ever sent any messaging campaigns through. I know LinkedIn has them, and I know Facebook Messenger has them as well, where basically you can just blast messages into people's messenger, and they'll see it as a top message or whatever. It'll say it's promoted. You're not getting a 90% response rate on those. I don't care who you are. I'm sorry. It's just 90% response rate, open rate on those. Certainly not a 90% response rate, but even a 90% open rate. You're not going to get that on those. So for those of you who have ran that, you already know this, and you know that 90% open rate is extremely, extremely high. Klaviyo's backed up how they have all this. I'm not going to get too deep into defending Klaviyo today. It's not the point of this video. I'm just laying out the statistics that they have for you on their site, right? So they have a 90% open rate, which is very good. Because it really is a great way to measure effective reach, right? Because on Facebook and Instagram, as a lot of you guys watching this will probably know, you can pay for reach. So let's say you're reaching, 50,000 people. Well, that doesn't really matter if, 49,999 of them just scroll right past your eye without even looking and taking a look. Because as long as Facebook puts it in front of them, like that counts. Like that's it. That's an extra digit on your reach metric, right? Where with a text campaign, an open rate is a much more efficient way to kind of measure the amount of effective reach you're getting, because they're actually taking an action on your message, right? They're opening your message. They have to manually do that. And I know it's not a huge action, but the fact that they have to manually open that message to begin with means that they're much more likely to read it, right? So that leads to a very high response rate. The response rate on text is usually very high. You can see anywhere from 50 to 70% response rates, upwards of that on Klaviyo. Generally, when you start off, we've never really seen any lower than a third. If you're getting less than 1 out of 3 people that you actually text message you, you're either have a very big problem with your lead list, or you really messed up the message somehow, like within the back end, right? So you should have at least a third response rate. That's typically our clients are getting no lower than that. But yeah, that's what you should expect to have through text on Klaviyo. So even if you have 100 leads in your list, and you have 90% of them open, and then 30% of those 90% respond, right? Or sorry, a third of them, you're going to have 30 people that respond to your text, right? So you can set up text campaigns on Klaviyo for as little as $20. This depends on your contact list size. So the bang for your buck is pretty phenomenal, right? And kind of going back to what I had said about the conversion rates, if you're getting 30 responses for every 100 texts you send out, I believe it's 500 leads or contacts on Klaviyo you pay $20 for, and then it either goes up by $5 or $10 for every 500 that you add. That's a monthly fee as well. But even if you're doing that right at a $20 fee, and you have 500 leads in your list, and we'd already established 100 leads gets 30 responses, so you'd get 150 responses for $20, which is extremely phenomenal. Because if you can't convert 150 responses into quite a few calls, into quite a few clients, right? Even I mean, even one client out of those 150 responses, you're making a lot more than break even on your $20 that you spent on Klaviyo. So it's phenomenal, and everything above that is completely gravy. So if you're able to land 3, 4, 5 clients like a lot of our guys do, then that's a pretty phenomenal return on your investment. So how do we actually go about setting up the SMS campaigns? Well, the thing about text is it's very unlike email, where you can't put a whole lot of actual copy and text into it. You are limited to certain character limits. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But you really need to just have a quick and effective introduction saying, hey, you saw my video, you filled out my form, this is who I am, do you have some time to chat, right into from an introduction to a call to action, very quickly, short and sweet. Needs to be within the character limits, or else you're going to end up paying more. So you want to just have it really quick, really effective introduction, and then a call to action. Or let's say you had an old lead list that you're wanting to warm up, maybe leads from 6 months ago. Hey, you filled out my form, a while back, just checking in to see if you still remember me. Are you interested in my service? I'm interested. Great. Do you have a time to set up a chat? Let's set up a chat. Bang. Right? So again, just quick and effective introduction right into a call to action. Now, I would also recommend sending these out weekly, and if possible, bi-weekly to your lead list. We want to keep the lead list warm, right? So the more often that you can actually send these campaigns out, you do have to do them manually. You can't automate that. I'll get into that in a second. But you should be sending them out at the very least weekly, as that way the last lead on your email campaign will have came from 6 days ago. So if you're sending them out, like if you're sending these campaigns out monthly, yeah, you're going to get a bigger batch of responses, but your overall response rate is going to go down, and that's when it might dip below a third. Just simply as, it's a lot of the leads that filled out your form, if they're the first time they're getting contacted from you is like a month down the line, they're going to forget about you and go, well, so what? I don't need your service or product anymore, right? So we want to kind of strike while the iron is hot and really be able to do bi-weekly and if possible weekly campaigns. So that kind of goes into the drawbacks of SMS, and there definitely are some. There's a lot of advantages to SMS, but there are some drawbacks. The first one is Facebook forms right now are unable to collect consent for automated SMS, so you're not going to be able to automate. You're going to have to do the campaigns manually every time, so that is a little bit of an annoyance. The way that works with Facebook is, if you guys are generating leads, you're already going to know this, how the forms work. You are able to contact people, but you're not able to get consent for certain things. So, for example, there's no checkbox or something that you can fill out to have people consent to be a part of an SMS campaign, even though they are filling out a form in respect to being able to be contacted, and those people on the form can be sent straight to your Klaviyo, right? So you can have people sent from the form straight to your Klaviyo, so that part can be automated, where leads will get automatically uploaded into your Klaviyo contact list. So you don't have to manually do that, but you will manually have to click on them and add them to the campaigns that you want to send them for SMS. And you will have to respond on Klaviyo as well, and kind of have that tab open during the day and be checking that and doing that, right? So just the way that Facebook works, just the way that the laws are set up around SMS, and you're not able to do an automatic campaign when it comes to that. So that being said, it can be quite time consuming going back and forth with people, right? So setting up the campaign, doing all that, kind of going back and forth, having all those conversations. You do have to have more conversation when you compare this system to email. The benefit of email is you can put a whole bunch of text into one big block. You can put a calendar link so people can just get an automated email from you and then book a link to your calendar. So you can literally be booking meetings in your sleep. Whereas with SMS and text, you have to actually have conversations with people. You have to get them on the phone that way. So it is a little bit more time consuming, right? But with email, you're also not getting the insane open rates and the insane response rates that you're getting. So it's a double-edged sword where, if you want the benefits, you're going to have to deal with some of the drawbacks. The other thing is the character limit can sometimes hinder the conversations that you have with people because you pay per credit on Klaviyo. I believe you get 1,000 credits to start with when you pay the $20 a month subscription. which means if you're sending out, to a list of 500 people and you send all 500 people a message, obviously not all of them are going to reply to you, right? So you're going to have some credits to work with, but you may go over your allotted credit limit because one credit is not one text. One credit is 320 characters. So in reality, if you send out a text that's 321 characters to 500 people, you're going to get, charged the full 1,000 credits. You do have to be careful of that. And sometimes, like I said, it does hinder conversation a little bit because you're keeping in mind the credit limit that you have. Even so, I wouldn't worry about going over the credit limit so much, especially if you have a smaller kind of lead list of like 5 to, a few thousand leads in your list. You're maybe going to end up paying an extra $5 a month. And the return on your investment for those extra text messages are so worth it. So I know Klaviyo will automatically charge you after you go through your credit limit. I believe it's pay per credit. So it's like a cent or 2 cents or something like that for a credit. After that, so they'll just automatically add that to your bill at the end of the month. So that's kind of the benefits, the drawbacks, how to set up Klaviyo SMS campaigns, why they're important. So in our exclusive lead system, we set up these Klaviyo text campaigns for all of our clients. It's a really big and key part of how we're actually able to generate 20 to 30 meetings a month for financial advisors. In our system, you also get some added benefits that you wouldn't get from doing it on your own. Because it's paid for in the system, you get flat costs for Klaviyo when you text. So it's already paid for. Everything is all done whenever you actually sign up with us. So you can shoot as many texts as you want. Never worry about going over the limit. We also do weekly split testing to get a better response rate. And we already have SMS scripts that have been proven to work over kind of multiple sectors and multiple industries for financial advisors. So we're implementing those texts straight into the campaign right away so that you don't have to actually do any of the guesswork. We do it for you, and we're already getting you more responses because we know some of the texts and scripts that actually work. So you don't have to worry about setting up the campaigns. You don't have to worry about any of the extra costs. So those drawbacks get completely taken away. All you have to do is set people up on a call, and that's it. We also have a done-for-you advertising and lead gen process. So we're actually generating you the leads that go into this Klaviyo campaign. You no longer even have to worry about where the leads are coming from. They're coming from Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok directly off your page, seeing your face, seeing your content. They want to work with you. It's just your job to get on the call with them and actually get them all closed up. We also have an automatic wake-up campaign for your lead list. So if you already were generating leads before coming to Nessie Renault and you come to us and you already have a lead list that you would like woken up, we send them an automatic text campaign to start getting you some leads and start getting you some booked meetings and appointments and closed clients straight off the bat. We have wake-up campaigns that have already been proven that we've used that have worked many a time, not just in our business, but others' businesses as well. And we can get those right off the ground for you right away. So hope this video was able to help. Hope this was able to add some value to some of the guys watching here at home. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to shoot me a DM. Drop the questions in the comments. If you're interested in our exclusive lead system, you can go into our description. You can click the link in the bio. There's a thing that you can use to actually book a time to meet with us, and we can discuss this entire system and any other lead gen or text tips or email tips that you need answered in depth on a call with you guys completely for free. So yeah, if you're interested in the exclusive lead system, let me know. Other than that, hope you all are having a fantastic day. Hope this was able to help, and bye-bye. Peace.